Excellent. Like, duh. Here, let me. Here.
Call the meeting to order. Let's do roll call, please. Thank you. We have a quorum. Yes, we have a quorum. Mike, let's move to announcements from staff.
Okay, thank you. And I'm using John's mic because mine's not working and Linnea's is not working. There have been some issues with the mics leading up to the meeting. So if you have your red light on, if you can see that lit up, that means your mic is on. Most of your mics are on, and so just remember that while that is occurring, that your mics are hot during this meeting. Items 15 and 16 have been withdrawn from tonight's agenda. But my main announcement this evening, and some of you know this, all of you may not, is that we have come to the end of an era here at Williamson County. John Lackey was appointed to the Planning Commission in 1983. And after a 40-year run, the likes of which we will never see again, at any board or commission level, John has decided not to seek or not to be reappointed for another term. And so tonight is John's last meeting. I think I speak for everyone in saying that, you know, his remarkable run isn't just remarkable because of the longevity, although that's pretty darn remarkable, but it's remarkable because of the way that he served on this commission, the distinction with which he served, and the leadership that he provided over so many years. I think everybody knows that John served as chairman of the commission for the vast majority of his time on the commission, and he did so very, very admirably. He ran meetings very effectively and often with humor. I think he fired Linnea about 10 times during that time, and she just keeps coming back.
Like a bad penny.
But more than that, you know, during his chairmanship, you know, that often meant that he would also serve as chair of various projects that we were leading. And so, and there's been so many of them through the years, you know, multiple comprehensive plan updates, you know, a zoning ordinance a rewrite, just, you know, we could go on, and the leadership that he lent to those projects were invaluable. You know, I really feel like the decisions that the county made a few years ago to adopt a new comprehensive plan that really kind of set a new course for the unincorporated county, and then follow that up with some zoning changes that I think are real pivotal for our future. You know, that was key, and I really feel like, John, your leadership during that time was instrumental in making those things happen. So, wanted to say those things. You know, John, we'll miss you. We love you, and thank you so much for the service over your years.
Thank you.
As a small token of appreciation for the big job that you did, we did get you something as a going away present, and Joe's going to present that to you now.
For the record, John, I don't love you. Anyway.
He's crushed.
John,
Hope not.
John, you and I have probably spent in excess of 300 second Thursday nights together. And so I appreciate
Never counted on that way.
Yeah, I know. Well, I appreciate everything. You've meant a lot to me personally, professionally.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate everything that you've done for this county and this planning commission. And so as a token of our respect, we'd like to present you this plaque. And I'll read the inscription, and then you can have the plaque. But it's for John Lackey, Chairman, Williamson County Regional Planning Commission, in honor and gratitude of the 40 years of exemplary service and leadership. And I think I can speak for all of us. We wouldn't be the same place without your efforts.
Well,
and we
thank you.
appreciate everything.
Thank you. Wow. I have seen a lot of commissioners come sit here, as you can imagine. Y'all are as good or better than anyone. Making some decisions, thoughtful. And I appreciate that. That's what it takes. I wish more of you would show up at every meeting, instead of lollygagging, hanging out somewhere in the bar. That aside, you are a good group, and you're thoughtful, and I appreciate it. I look forward to retirement. Thank you. This is beautiful, guys.
Thank you, John, and you're welcome to come back any second Thursday and join us in the crowd. So I'm sure
I gotta sit out there.
we'll let you sit out there. Enjoy yourself.
Don't expect me, you know.
I wouldn't.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consideration of the minutes from the past meeting. Are there any comments on this?
Motion
Hearing none,
approved.
Go ahead, sorry. Can we, a couple minutes late, able to? Present, there we go, you're in. All
I
right,
won't be able to vote. I'm not signed into
app.
the app, yeah. Yeah, I tried to input my username password. It's not signing me in. Maybe try and restart.
Yeah.
I just downloaded the app again. Yeah. So it's a fresh download and everything.
You want to just look at us and go up or down?
I can do that, yeah.
All right.
I'll plug my device in.
There we go.
Looks like we have a motion and a second to accept the meeting minutes as written. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. Commissioner Hatcher?
Mr. Chairman, I am recusing myself of the consent agenda.
Are there any other items that we need to pull off of the consent agenda for discussion? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, thank you. Let's vote, please. Motion passes, thank you. Moving on to old business. Preliminary plat review for King Estate Large Lot Easement Subdivision containing 3 lots on 15 acres located off Forest Glen Road in the first voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, the applicant is requesting deferral to the April 2023 Planning Commission meeting to allow the applicant more time to address staff comments. Staff concurs with the request.
Motion for deferral? We have a second, motion and a second. Let's vote, please. Thank you. Motion passes. Item 15 was withdrawn. Item 16 was withdrawn. Moving on to item 17, preliminary plat review for Stone Ridge subdivision, large lot easement containing 5 lots on 63.92 acres located off Harpeth School Road in the second voting district. Staff?
Chairman, at this time, the applicant is requesting deferral to the April 2023 Planning Commission meeting to allow the applicant more time to address staff comments. Staff concurs with this request.
Do I have a motion? Thank you. Second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Moving on to item 18, concept review for West Harpeth Ranch containing 37 lots on 113.36 acres located off West Harpeth Road in the 11th voting district. Staff?
Is this on?
No. Sorry.
Find a mic that works. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting concept plan approval for a 37-lot traditional subdivision in the Municipal Growth Area 1 zoning district. Concept plan approval is the first stage in the development process. The subject property totals approximately 113 acres in size and is located off West Harpeth Road, approximately a half-mile west of its intersection with Columbia Pike. Surrounding properties range in size from roughly 1 acre to several hundred acres and are used for residential or agricultural purposes. The site contains a number of natural resources, including moderately steep slopes, woodlands, and several karst features, which the applicant proposes to mitigate. Approximately 27% of the site is covered in tree canopy. Within the proposed development, lots range from between 1 and 3 acres in size. The overall density is 0.33 dwelling units per acre, which is well below the maximum density of 1 unit per acre allowed in the MGA 1 zoning district. Approximately 38% of the site will be preserved in open space. Access to the proposed development will be provided from a single entrance on West Harpeth Road, which is classified as a local roadway by the Major Thoroughfare Plan. The applicant's traffic engineer prepared a traffic access analysis based on a scope of work provided by the county's traffic engineering consultant. The county's consultant has reviewed the TAA and is recommending approval from a traffic standpoint. Staff requested that the applicant provide a right turn deceleration lane into the property, and the applicant has complied with this request. Water service is provided by HB&TS Utility District, and wastewater is handled via individual septic systems. The Williamson County Department of Sewage Disposal Management has reviewed and approved the request. It should be noted that once detailed construction and engineering plans are prepared in conjunction with the submittal of a preliminary plat, changes to the layout, including the potential for a reduction in lots, may be necessary. A landscaping plan will also be required. Staff recommends approval of this concept plan with the following conditions. The preliminary plat must address the following. 1, prior to preliminary plat submittal, construction plans for the deceleration lane must be approved by the County Highway Commission. 2, prior to preliminary plat submittal, a geotechnical study related to the karst features that are to be mitigated must be submitted in accordance with Section 1304D of the zoning ordinance. 3, submission of roads, drainage, and erosion control plans for review and approval by the county engineer. And 4, submission of water plans for review and approval by HB&TS Utility District. The final plat must address the following. 1, prior to final plat submittal, the deceleration lane must be completed to the satisfaction of the county's highway superintendent. 2, prior to final plat submittal, the karst features must be mitigated in accordance with Section 1304D of the zoning ordinance. 3, prior to consideration of final plat approval, the applicant shall submit HOA documents for review and approval by the county attorney's office. These approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. 4, establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control. 5, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of HB&TS Utility District. 6, submission of landscaping plans and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping improvements. 7, execution of performance agreements for the above referenced sureties. 8, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And 9, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan Coordinate System prior to signature and recording of the plat. A couple other quick notes. You did receive, as I think you know, some emails regarding this project to your Planning Commission email. We printed those off for you this evening, and those are in front of you. I'll also mention that Tyler Fosness with KCI, who is our traffic consultant, is here this evening in case you have questions for him. Thank you.
So do we have any questions or discussion or anything? Yes, yeah, sorry, from the commissioners. Hearing none, do we have a motion on item number 18? Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to non-residential site plans. Item number 19, Page High School, Phase 4, containing 49.59 acres, located off Arno Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting approval of a revised site plan for Page High School, which includes approximately 64,000 square feet of gymnasium and classroom space, reconfigured parking areas, and new tennis courts. A portion of the existing building will be demolished to accommodate the new building, and existing parking areas will be reconfigured. However, student enrollment will not change as a result of this project. Property in question is approximately 49 acres in size and located on Arno Road. Adjoining parcels range in size from 1 acre to 60 acres and are used for agricultural or residential purposes. The Stag's Leap development borders the property to the southeast and west. Water service is provided by Millcrofton Utility District, and wastewater is handled by a private sand filter system. Staff has received confirmation from the Williamson County School System that the wastewater system can accommodate the proposed use. All zoning ordinance requirements have been met, including the specific requirements associated with educational facilities. Site plan is in order, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Are there any discussion items on number 19? Hearing none, do we have a motion on item 19? Thank you. Have a motion, second. Thank you. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Moving on to final plats. Item number 20, final plat review for Fiddler's Glen, Section 1, containing 51 lots on 104.71 acres located off Murfreesboro Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting final plat approval of the first section of the development, which contains 51 lots, approximately 62 acres of open space, and the wastewater treatment and disposal areas. The plat remains consistent in layout with that depicted on the preliminary plat. All off-site roadway improvements have been completed and approved by TDOT. Staff recommends approval of the final plat with the following conditions. 1, establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control in the amount of $2,887,000. 2, establishment of performance bond for water improvements in favor of Millcrofton Utility District in the amount of $558,719. 3, per the recommendation of the county's consultant, establishment of performance bond in the amount of $178,000 for the wastewater collection system. 4, establishment of performance bond for landscaping in the amount of $423,600. 5, execution of performance agreements for the above referenced sureties. 6, the approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. 7, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And number 8, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan Coordinate System prior to signage and recording of the plat.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 20? Do I have a motion? Second? Thank you. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Moving on to item 21, final plat review for Camus subdivision, large lot easement subdivision containing 6 lots on 35.59 acres located off South Carruthers Road in the 12th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Preliminary plat approval for this development was granted by this body at the July 2021 meeting. The applicant is now requesting final plat approval. The subject parcel is approximately 36 acres in size and is located off South Carruthers Road, across from Gallant Ridge Drive and approximately 1,000 feet west of Delta Springs Lane. The site contains natural resources requiring protection, including streams and 100-year floodplain. The site is mostly open with very minimal tree canopy. All zoning ordinance requirements, including those regarding the protection of natural resources, have been met. The applicant is proposing individual septic systems for the lots, and the Williamson County Department of Sewage Disposal Management has approved the request. Water will be provided by the Mill Crofton Utility District. No fire hydrants are proposed, and sprinkler systems are to be provided in all dwellings. Building envelopes have been separated by 200 feet. Staff recommends approval of this final plat with the following conditions. Number 1, the plans for the sprinkler systems required in all dwellings be submitted with the applications for building permits. And number 2, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Mill Crofton Utility District in the amount of $16,000.
Any comments on item number 21? Do we have a motion? Thank you. Do I have a second? I have a second. Motion and a second. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. Item 22 was on the consent agenda. And Mike, if you will hand Commissioner. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Oh, excuse me.
Trying to get us out of here. All right. Other items, preliminary sketch plan review revised for Temple Hills inclusive of section 17 containing 36 townhome units on 13.34 acres located off Temple Road in the 8th voting district. Staff?
The applicant is requesting deferral to the April 23 meeting in order to allow more time to address staff comments. Staff concurs with this request.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? I have a motion and a second. Let's vote, please. Motion passes. So, Mike, if you will pass the gavel to Commissioner Lackey, it's only appropriate that you get us out of here.
The beat up would, we're dismissed.
Thank you, sir.